Greetings, delegates, faculty advisors, and guests to the second iteration of the Richmond Green Secondary School Model United Nations Conference. It is such an honor to be here today, welcoming you all to a conference that has been in the works for over 12 months. I am Annika Kim, the Charge d'Affaires for the conference and a graduating student of our school's MUN team. I would first like to acknowledge that though we are not gathered at the physical building of Richmond Green Secondary School, that we are on the traditional territories of the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe peoples, whose presence here continues to this day. We'd also like to acknowledge that this is the treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit, and thank them and other Indigenous peoples for sharing this land with us. We'd also like to acknowledge the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation as our closest Indigenous community and our partners in education. Model United Nations has been a cornerstone of my high school career and has without a doubt changed my outlook on the world and the global issues at the forefront of society today. I'm emboldened to see such a large and enthusiastic group of delegates and staff, each possessing a passion for MUN and a desire to change the world. Together, you represent the United Nations as it should be, as you strive this weekend to find solutions to problems through constructive debate and an exchange of ideas. Though the COVID-19 pandemic has put a stall on meeting with friends and family, attending school normally, and gathering in person for events such as this one, I am beyond grateful that through the tireless efforts of our faculty advisor, volunteers, administration, and our esteemed secretariat that we are able to host RGSSMUN in this virtual capacity. Having served as the Co-Secretary General at RGSSMUN in 2019, I am elated to witness the growth and development we've experienced as a team this year. We are proud to welcome over 180 delegates today, representing 16 schools in Canada and the US. From hosting 3 committees at RGSSMUN to the 11 unique and original committees offered this weekend, I can truly say that this conference has made leaps and bounds from its predecessor. With that said, I would like to hand it off to our wonderful leader of the Secretariat this year, your RGSSMUN 2 Secretary General, Jonathan Dong.
Thank you, Annika. I'm Jonathan Dong, the Secretary General of the second iteration of the Richmond Green Secondary School Model United Nations, and it is truly my honor to welcome each and every one of you to our conference. Amidst the darkness, we hope to be a beacon of light for the future, a place where topics past, present, and future can be discussed, addressed, and analyzed in ways never before seen. Model UN is the foundry from which leaders of the future emerge, the foundry in which brave new ideas coagulate, shape, and form into spears of solutions and are used to battle the leviathan of issues that we face today. Since the beginning of the pandemic, and to an extent before, we as delegates were realizing more and more just how important diplomacy, ideas, creativity, and discussion were. It has been the small things, the little acts of kindness, the initiative to go above and beyond that has aided us in thriving beyond simply surviving during the pandemic. It's the similar MUN spirit that sees the little guy win time and time again. The indomitable spirit, for example, that sees crisis delegates be the immovable object against the unstoppable force of crisis updates. RGSSMUN was founded on the principles of making the world a better place, and it truly heartens me to see so many interested in our committee offerings. Our very first conference was held on November 5th, 2019 at RGSS. It would be an understatement to say that our conference has grown, but it has truly blossomed into a constantly expanding, beautifully flowered, growing organism. This year's conference has been more than a year in the works, with more trials and tribulations along the way than we can count. In the course of planning, we've had adversity and the need to adapt to deal with fluctuating circumstances, and through it all, we've taken the good with the bad and made the most of it. It is safe to say that the current iteration was never the best case scenario. However, it is by no means at all the worst. The conference has become something that we all, delegates and staff alike, can be proud to attend. Delegates, in your committees, you will have the chance to make impressions, your very own mark on the world. By the end of the weekend, it is my sincerest hope that each delegate will have learned something, improved, made connections, will have truly believed that they're capable of working for the betterment of the world. I look forward to seeing innovative solutions, practical solutions, things that we as humans have never before tried. It is always a possibility that the next great idea to solve an issue such as climate change or migrant struggles can come from here, because it's occasions like this where students like you have the opportunity to rise to meet the challenge. I'm truly grateful to have worked with such a capable secretariat and staff members in the building of this conference. You've already heard from Anna Kim, our wonderful chargé d'affaires who has been behind many an Instagram message and email, and especially our beautiful website and Instagram designs, and will be chairing our EcoFin committee. I'd like to further recognize our Director General, Luca Rampersad, who has spent many a long night editing and formatting our background guides, as well as doing any one of a million other things for the conference, and will be chairing his baby, our Socialist International. Owen Webb, our iconic Undersecretary General for Finance, whose bookkeeping is only surpassed by his love for transit and his brainchild, the Ontario Transit Authority. Our wonderful Undersecretary General for Delegate Affairs, Yasna Tamasabi, who has spent many a month dreaming up our ad hoc and will be making the lives of our ad hoc delegates very hard. Our Undersecretary General for Publicity, Michelle Wong, who will be leading the dais for the ad hoc. And our incredibly creative USGs for operations, events, and a mix of the two with Sachi Barwada, Anaya Moladina, and Natalie Young, respectively. All Harry Potter aficionados who will be mixing things up with our Harry Potter crisis. And now, I'm going to pass things off to our faculty advisor, Miss Morris, without whom none of this would have been possible.
Welcome, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the volunteers, delegates, faculty advisors, and SVS admin for coming to and participating in Richmond Green Secondary School's second annual Model United Nations. Our Secretariat has worked tirelessly to ensure that you have a weekend full of lively discussions and debate on a wide range of world issues. During these discussions, your ability to be open-minded to find solutions is the key to successful diplomacy. This year's conference is an excellent example how in times of challenge, we have the ability to come together and find a solution to pave the way forward. This year's conference is a joint effort between the traditional brick and mortar school of Richmond Green and the new secondary virtual school in New York region as a result of COVID-19. Problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, flexibility, and open communication were key in this joint effort. During the conference, it is the expectation that all volunteers and delegates will abide by the York Region District School Board's equity and inclusivity policy, that every person is entitled to work and/or learn in a respectful, positive working and learning environment, free from all forms of discrimination, harassment, and exclusion. May your committees be productive, forward-thinking, and a place of great debate. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Ms. Morris. At this time, I'd like to go over the schedule for this weekend, which can be found on our conference website. Following the opening ceremonies, chairs will begin the first committee session, starting at 4:15 in their respective Zoom calls. There will be a dinner break at 6:45, with committee session 2 commencing at 7:30 and lasting until 9:45. A break has been added from 8:15 to 8:45 to respect delegates and staff that will be celebrating Ramadan. Saturday will begin with a brief staff and faculty advisors meeting at 10 a.m., followed by committee session 3 from 10:30 to noon. After the hour-long lunch break, committee sessions 4 and 5 will proceed with the break in between. Committees will be adjourned at 6:30. There will be an optional delegate social from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Saturday evening. Sunday will see another staff and faculty advisor meeting from 10 to 10:15 in the morning, with final committee session 6 held from 10:30 to 11:45. Closing ceremonies will begin at noon. We ask that any delegates who are unable to attend a committee session email their chair and faculty advisor if they have not done so already.
Before the conference begins, I would like to extend my most heartfelt thanks to the Secretariat, who have been along for the over a year-long journey since our executive was formed last April. Our partners and friends from Richmond Hill High School, Bayview Secondary School, and Milliken Mills High School who are helping out in your committees. Our wonderful and dedicated alumni executives who bring additional years of experience to our committee staff and are fonts of knowledge in everything from University of MUN to the fields that they're studying in. If you happen to be in one of their committees, please feel free to ask them any questions about post-secondary and university. Our one and only faculty advisor, Miss Morris, who is an inspiration to us all with the time and effort she puts in to guide us and lead us away from the rocks on many occasions. She has been supportive, helpful, and a great advocate along the way. And you, the delegates who are the life and blood of our conference, and your faculty advisors who selflessly dedicate their weekends to watching you improve as delegates, students, and people. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to declare RGSSMUN 2 open.